Shut up and sit down.
Diorama time. So what have we been up to? If you remember, standard picture frame, raised edge. And what I've done is I've just covered it with a little bit of foam. I tend to use very thin rolls of foam, camping mats, that sort of thing. I've built this up with some polystyrene. So I usually drop that in the bottom first to raise it up. Then I cut a sheet of cardboard to go over the top, just to give it a bit of a solid base, and then using my good old trusty hot glue gun to glue the foam on. I'm currently in the stage of making the next piece to go on. Let's just adjust the camera a little bit, because we are a little bit tight for space. There you go. And that is going to be the curb where the bus comes in to the bus stop. Pretty much. That's what we're hoping for. So let's just see whether my glue gun is warm. And I just literally slap a load of this on.
Slap it on.
And then I'll come around the edges, like so. It says optimistically as his stick runs out midway through. It's Murphy's Law. Just literally to get this down is all I'm interested in at this stage. The finer detail work will be done with the modelling clay. But this is just to start getting an idea of what goes where with it, like so, see. In case you're wondering what this little baby is, that's my access panel for the battery pack. See, what we have is my battery pack that I showed you last time, with the jack plug on that the bus sits on. That goes about there, so that then tucks underneath. And the battery pack will then slot in place, like so. Cool. And then that goes on the top. Cool. So that's what that all is. It went in a lot easier than this earlier. It's just I've got to tuck the wire because I've got quite a deep canopy under there. And that will just drop back in place like so. And if I just bring in the bus will just sit on the diorama like so. Cool. So that's where we're up to at the moment. Just need to figure out exactly where my jack plug's going to come out so that I can make space for that, and then we can go on to the next stage of the build. So it's coming along nicely, I think, anyway. Yeah. The jack plug I'm looking at bringing out just underneath where my pinky is. There is what we're looking for. So I just need everything to dry so that I can then line up exactly where that's going to be, so that I can cut the foam to put the jack plug in. No real change to the bus since you last saw it, apart from windows have gone in all round. So yeah, she's looking quite tidy. They've got the top windows in, so I'm just letting that settle. I've put my plate in for the door, a little bit of paint and lipstick and mascara for that, and she's going to be pretty ready to go. So it's just tiny little areas of faffing on the diorama itself now, so I can unplug my glue gun for a minute, get rid of that out of the way, and then I can figure out, after dropping everything yet again, where I'm going to put the jack plug, because that's the next thing that I really want to get in place, so that I don't have to keep messing around with it. And then I'll probably glue that on using the hot glue gun to sort that out. Because I originally had it marked up at around about that area there is where she's going to go. So I've got to figure it out. Excuse me. To where we want to go in that. I reckon it's going to be about there. There or thereabouts. Is where I think it's going to be. Like that. So we're not far off. And we just got to really figure out the wire, where it's going to be, and get that sorted. So I'm just going to cut that. I'll get that in place. I'll get it glued in with my hot glue gun, and then I don't think I'll have to worry about it then. That's the theory anyway. Quite whether or not it goes according to plan is another matter. So I reckon it's going to sit about there. It's going to be its final home. That's what I think. So we'll just see what we can come up with to secure that in place. Let's put a drill bit on. I think I'll drill through first to try to feed that wire in. Which is what we want. Is about there. Should have actually done this before I soldered the wire. That's what I reckon. Yeah, should have done. Lesson learned. So what we can do is neaten that up. I reckon it's going to go about yay deep. See whether we can get this looking a bit more professional. Because I want the wire to actually not have too much slackaroonie on it. So, get rid of all of that. Don't want that. And then we can decipher where it's actually gonna go. So we'll just feed that through. Like so. Just swap that in there. Okay, and then that is going to sort of sit in there. That's the theory. And then be contained underneath in like that shape with the battery pack. So that's what we're looking for. Cool. So let's just extend that down. Like so. Just to give me a bit more play. Because once this is in, it will be the traditional London pothole. Will be in place then. Like that. Yeah, that's what we want. Happy days. So that's that sorted. So, after unplugging the glue gun, I now realise I've got to plug it back in to glue that in place. But we don't mind that. Sit out of the way of it. That's the theory. Like so. So we then cut a little section out. And enable the wire to poke down. So that is the diorama trap plug going in. So we just need to shape that a bit better. Like so. Give that a good generous splodge. Like so. That. On chat plug. Happy days. So we can let that settle. That's going to go nowhere now. And then that'll all get blended in once I do the road. that in place. I now no longer need my gun. Pretty much sure this time I don't need it anymore. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But that's where I want to be for now with his base, because I've got all my filling to do and stuff to play with on it, so I can at least get on with that. So I'm just going to pop out a couple of pieces of heat shrink just so that I can solder my wires. In place. That's one less thing then that I have to do with the diorama. Apologies if the view's a bit cruddy. Let's lift that up a bit and come out. You will go in. There you go. Gets them done. And then what do we have? There's a bit of judicious soldering. Sort them out. Just swing the mouse out of the way, plug that in. I'll get a bit of soldering done on those, just to get them in place. So we'll let that warm up. Just gives us an opportunity then to do a bit on the dio, because it's been a while since I've done anything on the bus. Life issues get in the way as usual. A lot of medical stuff going on. But hopefully we can start getting that sorted. And then we can start doing a bit of serious modelling again. Because at the moment I'm not getting a lot of time to do me modelling. I take it you're all watching the models streams on the internet. Monday nights at 9 o'clock. Fox was back last night. He had some issues and things to deal with last week, but pop along and see them. It's a laugh, it's a joke, it's a good crack, and you'll probably learn something. I know I do. Even though I've been doing this a lot of years, there's always something that pops up on a chat that I haven't done or haven't seen. And yeah, so it's worth popping along to see them. If you're not already a member of the Boom Hut, go onto Facebook, Boom Hut, and join the Model Makers Boom Hut. Again, you know, laugh and a joke, and they also do the treehouse streams as well, so that's another one to look out for, which is some of the Boom Hutters from the treehouse pop along and have a chat about modelling and life in general. Full Statler and walled off mode, bemoaning the world, but definitely well worth a look. So let's just move that mouse out of the way. Let's see if we can get this tinned and get on with said soldering job. That's one. This is cleanly tipped. Bin that shaky hands are in place yet again. Let's secure that. See if I can do it without trembling like a trembling man. There you go. So that's that. Let them cool down whilst I'm putting this away. Man's best friend, my helping hands. Be lost without that. Let's just unplug me soldering iron. Don't need that anymore. Shove you in there, out of the way. Let's tidy them up. Like so. And then see what we got. That's that one. And that's that one. Out with a Zippo. As usual, picks the one up without any gas. Note to self, make sure you've got a Zippo that's full before you start shooting a video. I hope I can edit it. Right. That's one. That's two. There you go. And then just stick them together. So. Cool. And then what I'll do is I'll drop a little bit of insulation around that. Just to keep them in place. That's all they're doing. The actual solder and all of that lot is doing its job, and so's the heat shrink. That just gives me something that's a little bit extra stability. See? And then that tucks in like so. Yeah, so I'll show you that again. There you go. That tucks in like so. That then sits down on top. That comes in, and there she blows. Bob's your uncle. A little bit better fit than that Cole. Wally. Forgot to put my wire in that side, that's why. Oh, really? There you go. Tuck the wire in. Like so. That's it. Right. And that is that. That's now the jack plug where I need it to be. Obligatory smack in the mouth with the camera there. Why not? It's been a while since I've done that. Right. So we can start with the rest of the dressing up of the frame. As we go. This is the stage that normally takes a while. It's just little bits of filling and going around things that I ain't too happy with, but all in all it's not bad. I've done better. Let's just get that somewhere where it's not smacking on everything. That's better. So let's get a splodge of my old Mr. whatever you want to call it in there. Vallejo plastic putty. See, I knew I'd remember it. I told you, I'll forget my head if it weren't screwed on, you lot. And all I did on this is I actually chopped the frame because I wanted it to look a bit different. Normally I do the square frames as everyone's seen before, but on this one kind of wanted to do something a little different. So I've made little knockouts and bits on the frame. One, it makes the bus sit a bit better because it's an A4 or A3, I can't remember. I think it's A3 frame, but the bus is so big that it was hanging off each end, and I just thought it didn't look as good as it could have. So me being me, I made a few knockouts just to try to finish it off, add a bit of interest. You know, I'm not going mad on this dio on this one. It's literally a bus pulling in to a bus stop at the side of a road and going off again and doing its thing. So my interest on this is just the usual, adding a few bits of pothole and detritus, a few leaves perhaps, you know, a bit of litter, you know, the usual crud that you see around the streets of London. Really, it's not, bless it, it's not kept as clean as some cities I've visited. You know, I've been around the world a bit, and whenever you come back home you do think, it's a bit of a pit, but it is what it is. Locals say it adds character. Yeah, alright, I'll go there if that's what you want. And it's just just finishing off the edges. That's all I'm doing, because once this is all painted, you know, I've got, you know, uneven road surface, potholes, bits of road would repair going on, and so, you know, a lot of this will probably end up getting covered with some of the road effect gravel and rubble and stuff, but just neatening this edge up a little bit before I start will let me just see where I'm at with things. Because all this is really is just a base to store the power pack. But it's ironic, the more I look at it, the more I think, oh, I could have put everything in here and not had such a job of getting everything concealed on the bus. I could have just put every single piece of electronics in here. But I would probably do that on my next diorama with the E-type. Is probably bury everything in here in the diorama, and then literally it's just a power connection going up into the vehicle itself. But all the big stuff, all the soundboards and all of that lot's going to be hidden away in the base, because that way it might enable me then to put a bigger set of speakers in to really amp it up a bit, because, you know, it's a Jag for crying out loud. It's an E-type. They sound really sexy. So perhaps a greetings card speaker might not have the desired effect on the sound of that motor. I don't know. We'll see. But I certainly think a bigger set of speakers will be beneficial for that. Just go along the frame. So, a little bit in there, just to sex that up a bit. Tend to get more on me than I do on the bloody diorama. It's all part of the fun. So at least with that corner in place, I can get this area sorted, and then when I pop it off I can smooth it all out. By putting a bit of filler down in there, I haven't got to worry about getting me clay in there, because I've got the pavements to make. Yeah. Put them in there with some paving slabs. So that's that. Ready, willing, and able. I think of that. The bus itself will come round. We line up and she's plugged in just like that. And that is how she's going to sit. As you can see, plugging that in isn't a problem. That just drops straight on there. Fits like a proverbial gloveroonie. So, stage one of the diorama. Done. Just got to let that dry and harden and do what it needs to do. Pack the foam away for a bit. We'll come back with it and get some more as I need it for the next bit. At least for the minute. And let that settle. So pause there for a cup of tea. And come back and start a bit of priming and painting. See you in a bit.